All right, we're live. Hi, I'm Bill Patton with 720 Degree Coaching, and we're going to be talking to Mark Wylam today. And there he is right there on the camera. And we're going to talk about why you should think about changing your website to something else. Now, Mark, you said yes to getting involved in the website business, right? And so what led to you saying yes to getting involved in that?
Well, the first point, Bill, is that any business that is going to be successful needs a website these days. So that is the be all and end all. I had a business that was passed down from my late father. After a number of months thinking about it, I finally decided to take it on as a full-time business. And to be honest with you, everybody needs a website. What I'm doing now, I'm absolutely loving, Bill.
Okay. And so we're going to go over some points about why should people consider changing their current website status, right? They might have a website that's not working for them. They might not have a website. They might have one that's provided for them, but they're not really happy with it. All right.
Another thought, Bill, is that they need something to drive traffic to their website. So some part of what I do, I know we're getting on before we're supposed to, but part of what I do is act as a website driver. So it helps to build the traffic over to a website.
Okay, awesome. So now let's get into the cost of developing a website and how does SportsPros Connect?
Yeah, SportsPros Connect. Gotta get it right.
That, sticky problem of I don't want to pay too much for my website.
Yeah, well, the first things first. If you go out to a standard web designer and say, I want a website built, he's going to say, well, that's $1,000. He's going to say $2,000. He's going to say $5,000, even $10,000. And the main benefits, well, one of the main benefits of mine is that it's a ready-made template, and I'm going to be talking about that as we go on. But what it is, it's a ready-made template, which means that you just fill in the blanks. So we do coach web pages, and you just fill in the blanks. We do academy websites. Again, you fill in the blanks. And what it means is that we're able to offer a yearly subscription rather than a fee. So we can negate as low as €40 per year. That works out at about $48 per year. And it goes up to about 200 as a maximum.
Okay, because there are certain add-ons, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So what's our next bullet point that we're moving on to? Save me a moment looking through my email.
We were going to say that a lot of websites are difficult to update.
Okay.
And that is totally true. When you look at a standard web designer, what they are, they're very, very busy. They're hard to get hold of. And sometimes if you're at a club or if you're at an academy or if you just want to change something of your own, you've got no one to do it. You've got no way to do it. With the websites at SportsPros Connect, a huge benefit to the user is that they get their own username, they get their own password, and that means that you can make any change that you want within 5 minutes. You can do it anytime, day or night. You don't have to wait until they're up and ready and up from bed or whatever. Yeah. 24 hours, you can update your website.
And then what period of time does that take? I mean, if you wanted to make a simple change of date on an event or, write up a paragraph, how long would that take to update?
2 minutes, no more.
Yeah.
You log into the website and you go into the specific field, you make your change, save it, make sure you save it, that's vital, and then it's done. Okay, so the cost is low. The convenience of updating is extremely easy and convenient. What's the next great benefit of SportsPros Connect? Okay, the complication of standard websites. I
That's
guess.
painful.
And I guess that's for a looking at it from the perspective of the user that's looking at your website. I have my website is built, and I'm not sure it's the easiest to understand for a lot of people. Obviously, it's easy for me, but the way things are, when I build a site for yourselves as a coach, as an academy, it's using one set template. So whether you're looking at Joe Blogs or whether you're looking at your site, Bill Patton's site, for example, you know exactly where to look. There's no complications about it. It's on the same level, and it just makes it a lot easier. I go into hundreds of websites per week, and the frustrating thing for me is that you go in and you know what you want to look at, but every website is different. So you have to look at this page, and no, it's not in this page, and that page, no, it's not in that page. With the SportsProConnect websites or web pages, effectively, you know where to look.
Okay, great. And then, so we've got the simplicity of it as opposed to the overcomplicated mess. And I know that same pain. I really get frustrated when I have to go 3 layers deep to find contact information, because it seems as though the company is intentionally hiding the content information because they don't want me to call them.
Yeah, and if they don't want to be called, then that's fine.
But we do want to be called, so we want this stuff front and center, right there, easy access.
We want it in front of us, and so the reason that we're talking about here is that it's in a one place, one stop shop. You know exactly where to go, and you can find it for the same for everybody.
So a website really ought to be a conduit for great customer service rather than a point of confusion.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree.
All right, what's next?
So we're looking at being part of a brand. Okay, so most websites are totally exempt from being part of a brand, and what I mean by that is you've got your own website builder, you've got your own little website which is working for you or not working for you, but you're not part of an official brand. Ourselves at SportsProConnect, we've just rebranded. Hopefully you've heard that, and this is why we're doing some of these conversations here with Bill today. But we are a brand on our own. So in the future, I sincerely hope that your SportsProConnect will be a huge brand, and people will be able to live with it, and they'll be able to know exactly who you're talking about when we talk about SportsProConnect.
And so the vision of it is, you're getting started heavily in the sport of tennis, but you're branching out into other sports as well.
That is totally correct. So a lot of you might have known me for the last couple of years. I've been working on a directory of tennis coaches for my previous business, socialtennis.com. And what I had to do was I had to totally rebrand, because a lot of people don't like to be known as a social coach. They want to be known as more of a competitive one. So a lot of people would come to me and say, well, I don't want to be known as socialtennis.com. And that's absolutely fine. The reason that stood for so long was because it was passed down as a legacy from my father. He had the business for 15 years before I did. But I felt just recently that the time was right, that it needed to be a brand new rebuild and a rebrand. And so what I've decided to do is I've decided to add additional sports. If you're a sports coach of any sort, now you can come to me and we can do the same sort of thing. Likewise, if you're an academy, likewise, if you're a club, or even a travel company that's looking to promote sport, then we've got a set template for you. My ethos at the moment, Bill.
One great benefit of that to me is that, tennis coaches often, in the US anyway, complain that we don't get access to the best athletes, that other major sports in the US get them. But if we're part of a platform that reaches out to other coaches as well, then we're also going to have greater access to a wider base of athletes as well, because we'll be discoverable by these people who might be interested in trying tennis. So, okay, so moving on to the next bullet point. So we have a really nice price. We have an uncomplicated, easy to use platform. We're part of a brand that's an interconnected thing. And then what's our next great benefit?
So our next benefit is a domain. Now, people think as soon as they buy a website, they've got to buy their own domain as well. Well, actually, included in the charge from SportsProConnect is a domain for you. Now, the domain would be sportsproconnect.com/Joe Blogs, Bill Patton, Mark Wylam. Can be anything you choose. Now, a lot of people say to me, well, actually, that's a bit long-winded. And yes, it is long-winded to certain people. That's absolutely fine. You can still choose to buy your own domain and link your domain to the same site. So in fact, that might be a huge benefit, because you can be seen in 2 different platforms. You can be seen by Google by your own domain name, and also by the SportsProConnect. So if you wanted to do that, that is a benefit. But obviously, we charge extra for. Well, we wouldn't do that for you.
Right. Well, and our next video that we do is going to be on how to build a social media platform, and we'll get into that, and I'm going to discuss that portion of it, and that is actually going to be very necessary for you to have your own domain that points to your social tennis. And you can get that for anywhere from like $10 to $20 a year. It's not a really big expense, but there are certain we're going to get into the reasons why that is so important for building your own social media platform. That even though you're using the SportsProConnect websites. All right, low cost, right?
Yeah, low cost,
easy. Part of a brand.
Come on, let's do it. So low cost, easy to update, very uncomplicated. We're part of a brand, and we give you your own domain.
Okay, and then how do we wrap this up?
So I guess the way to wrap it up is, let me tell you how to visit our site.
Okay.
So you can visit our site on www.sportsproconnect.com. You can check out what we've already done. You can search for our coaches. You can search for our academies. You can search through the travel companies. Just as easily on the drop down, you can, on the drop down of each of the coach, academy, and travel company site, there is a buy website service. All you need to do is fill in some details, and then we'll be in touch with the next steps.
Well, exactly. And this is the first video in a series of 3. And when we get to the 3rd one, we're going to have special launch pricing, special deals. So, if you're watching this first video and you've seen it way after the launch, then some of these special deals will have gone away. But you can reference that you watched the videos and you heard about SportsProConnect through whatever media platform you're seeing it through, and I'm sure there will be a little something for you there for referencing that.
You never know. You never know your luck.
No. So, but yeah, look out for the 3rd video, and there will be a special launch that will be available only on that day.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you, Mark. So I appreciate your time here, and looking forward to talking to you in the next video.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Bill, for your time.
All right.
Cheers,
thanks.
guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So I'm ending the live videos here on these other ones. Yep. Well. Okay. So we got 32 viewers on Instagram and a handful of people so far on Real Tennis Coaches. No viewers yet on YouTube, but that's fine, you know. So that'll come. All right. So now we're still live, so I don't think we want to say anything embarrassing, but
I'll try to.
but we can go through, and I think I should do this, and now we'll go into how to build the social media platform.
Yeah.
And I thought that first that one right there, that's a one take wonder. I wouldn't mess with it. It was.
I thought it went perfectly.
It was, yeah. You can't. It doesn't get much better than that. So I'm really happy about that because I really don't enjoy editing, and there wasn't. I mean, I don't think there was anything wrong with that.
No, I'm pretty happy with it.
All right. So very good. So now you've got my bullet points.
Yeah, I've got them on the. No, I need to just write them down. So do you want to come off live or?
No, let's just keep it here. It's fine because what I will do with this video is I will pull it. I'll download it, delete it, and then repost it after I edit out this piece. So, okay. So right now we have currently no viewers on this particular platform. So we have nothing to worry about in terms of embarrassment.
Of our live bloopers.
Pretty much as soon as it goes live, I'm going to download it on my computer, pull it, and then I can repost it later. And look, I have my General Patton mug.
And what's the mug? I didn't even get a chance for a coffee in the end.
General Patton Memorial.
Right. I'm not looking at the screen at the moment. I'm just looking at the point.
Darn it.
That's right.
I'm going to recharge my coffee. So essentially, this if we nail this one, then we're pretty much done, and then the testimonials come next, and then that'll be something to arrange, right?
Yeah. Now, so I'm not sure. No one has done the testimonial that I asked for recently, which was basically 25 or 10 to 15 seconds on, hi, I'm a member of SportsProConnect.com. Hi, Bill Patton here from California. I'm a member of SportsProConnect.com. Look it up. And I was going to ask about 6 people to do that.
Yeah.
I have asked people, and one or two people have come. Well, they've all come back to me and said that they'll do it, but no one's been forthcoming so far.
Yeah, and I think it's good to put a time on it that you want it in the next couple of days or what have you. And I would recommend that you ask them to do something that's 1 minute.
That's 1 minute.
Because 1 minute can be posted on Instagram. So each one can be posted separately on Instagram. That's really a big thing. Instagram is the fastest growing social media outlet. Instagram passed Twitter for the number of followers.
Yeah. Do you know what? I've found that Twitter's been the least the least engaging for me.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Yeah. I'm actually scaled way back on using Twitter. But Instagram gains quite a bit of traction. So I thought it was really interesting that we had many more people watching on
Instagram than
yes. But there's also a lot of junk. There are a lot of junk followers. So there are people who will tune in just out of curiosity because it's the first thing that popped up in their feed. They're not really interested. They just have nothing to do.
so they just happen to be there.
they really need a life of some kind. But all right. So it says my video will be available soon. So that means that once it's available, then I can share it. Okay. So I'm not going to be able to go live on Instagram right there. Let me see what I see here.
This one is separate and to be shown at a later date anyway, isn't it? So are we going to go live for this
particular video?
No,
we're actually live right now. We're broadcasting. We're live. And if someone saw this, then they would hear this whole conversation. But we currently have a viewer, so we better get going, Mark. So now that we have a live viewer, are you ready to start this next one?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Hello, viewer. You can send a comment. I'm kind of a rookie when it comes to broadcasting on YouTube, so I don't know if I'll see the comments, but make a comment, ask a question. We'll try to answer that. All right. So, Mark, are you ready? So you're interviewing me, lucky guy.
Yeah, that's the confusing part.
Right.
Okay. So, ready when you are.
All right. And you've got my bullet points, so you're going to ask me the questions, right? So I'm ready.
Yeah.
Go.
So here I'm with Bill Patton on Bill's very own YouTube channel. Bill, welcome to your own show. Very good.
Stop. All right. So hold on. Cut. All right. So I know this is new for you, but I'm going to teach you something now. All right. I'm ready to go. Take the reins, right? With SportsProConnect, and I'm with Bill Patton from 720 Degree Coaching.
Yeah.
And we're going to discuss building a social media platform.
Okay. You ready?
I'm almost ready. Bear with me a second. So I had gone live and then I had to stop. So yeah, you're in charge. Go.
Hi, I'm Mark Wylam from SportsProConnect.com, and I'm here today with Bill Patton of 720 Degrees Coaching. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you.
Today, we're going to talk a little bit about a social media network and getting your own social media network. So without further delay, Bill has written a couple of key points for me to read out. And the first one is aim for a niche of tennis leadership. Have a mission. What do you mean by that, Bill?
Yeah, I mean, part of the reason why I'm internet famous today is that in 2013 I was writing a book for high school tennis, and I didn't really know where that was going to lead. But here we are. It's 5 years later, and I set out to become a thought leader in the area of team sports coaching. And some people thought that was a pretty arrogant thing to do, and to proclaim that I was going to do that. But it's an area of expertise for me, and it didn't mean I'm going to be the preeminent expert on that topic. But you know, everybody is. I would encourage people to, in order to build a social media platform, aim to become an expert in a particular niche. And I think it's a really important thing, because then it makes it easier for you to make a contribution in a specific area. It doesn't mean you have to not claim to know a lot about other things. but going for a niche. So some people are really great at the red, orange, green. The 10 and under tennis. Okay, great. Make that your niche. Really build that. Some people are high performance tennis coaches. ATP, WTA tour, college. All these different. Some people are great mental game teachers. So whatever your niche is, build that and make your mission to build your social media presence around that.
Okay. Totally. Thank you very much, Bill. So your next one was do the daily grind.
Yeah, do the daily grind. I mean, it was really intimidating for me to start with 0 followers on Twitter and 0 this and 0 that, and just to spend 15 to 30 minutes a day on each of these 15 to 30 minutes a day, taking turns on different platforms to follow influential people, engage with them, start conversations, and be the person that's not known, and then become the person that is known. So it's been an interesting thing. I mean, one of the big highlights for me is that I recently sent one of my books to the White House.
Really?
And I sent 5 autographed copies of one of my books to the White House, and I got a very nice return letter saying, thank you for being an advocate for youth sports, and we look forward to reading your book. I'm not going to say which person wrote that letter back, but it was signed personally. It was signed with a real pen.
Oh,
so anyway, that was really exciting. And I think anybody can do that. You can, it might take them 6 weeks to make sure that there's not a bomb in it, but you can. One of the great things about social media, it's the democratization, the true, pure democratization of information. So anyone can talk with almost anyone. You can talk with CEOs of Fortune 500 companies if you can get their attention.
Brilliant, brilliant. Right, Bill, the next one. Try them all, figure out which one gives me the best return on investment. I know this all too well.
Yeah, right. And as we were talking about offline, I mean, I've really diminished the amount of time I spent on Twitter. Twitter has not been a great one, but it could be great for other people for other reasons. As an author, Twitter's helped me as Bill Patton, the author, and not at all Bill Patton, the tennis coach. So if you have something that's at a national level that you're doing, where you're creating news, then Twitter can help you some. Twitter helps me sell books,
yeah,
but it doesn't gain me new students on the tennis court. So Instagram has been amazing. Instagram is now the largest thing out there. And if you're not using Instagram, you really need to be out there on that and posting daily. That's one of the most important platforms to be on. And there's a lot you can do. I mean, Sterling Strother, a good friend of mine, has this thing called Daily Coach, and he numbers them. And he does these little 1-minute videos, and many of them feature the same player. So you get to see sort of this very incremental improvement of this boy that he's coaching as he goes along. And that's a really fun thing. It's really an amazing thing. In the Real Tennis Coaches page that we've developed since 2014, which has over 1,500 coaches in it, you see the same thing. There are really prominent coaches that I don't want to name at this time, but who post sort of the incremental improvement of these players who are working their way towards a world-class level. And that's a really exciting thing. Real Tennis Coaches is a membership-based forum. So But I think there's a lot of value in developing these things, and then at some point you may or may not be able to monetize them. But there's a lot to be gained by simply doing the work.
Perfect. Okay. It's something I totally agree with in fairness. I've tried many things over and over again, and you have to just get the right things and things that work for you personally.
Yeah, and let me go a little bit more into that too, because I think I struck out the most onto Facebook, and we then went out onto everything, including LinkedIn. LinkedIn has been very good. So now I'm sort of scaling back, and really the three that I'm really trying to focus on are Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and not really much else other than that.
Totally the same as me, Bill.
But other platforms are coming out all the time, and you should try them and get out on them for sure.
Just while we're on this topic, Bill, though, I've been getting all these requests from Quora or something like that. Do you know anything of them?
No idea what that is.
Okay.
I guess since I'm the expert, I guess I'm supposed to know, but I'm not. Yeah. I guess I'm not really.
I thought you'd try.
There's so much to know out there, Mark.
So your next quote there, it's basically quote, story, picture, video, live video, question, poll, offer, sale.
Yes. Okay. So that's how you get engagement is because if you do the same thing every time, then people go, oh, it's Bill again, and he's making another bold statement that's meant to make people angry, and then cause discussion. But so I don't do that all the time. I don't make the bold pronouncements every time. One thing I love to do is just spend 5 minutes trying to find a interesting, challenging quote, and especially if I can find it as a meme. So, for instance, the other day I posted a John Wooden quote. It's what you learn after you already knew it all that counts. And I think that's a really important message, because we as coaches, because our game is being experts, tend to want to think of ourselves as it's the mission of continuing to learn. So when you go and build your social media platform, it's really important to do it different ways, right? To share a quote that really resonates with you, and then basically you find the people that resonates with them, and they will like it, and then you can start a conversation with those people. Yeah. Create a poll. Try to find out, how do the people that are following you, how do they think? So I just did one the other day. How do you use the tennis balls? Do you use exclusively yellow tennis balls? Do you use a mix? Do you have complete programs that are progressive, that go from one thing to the next? I want to know what people are doing. So you could want to understand your audience. Posting a video of yourself working with a player, or yourself starting a discussion on a certain topic, it makes you a little bit vulnerable. But if you're going to do this, then you really kind of have to put yourself out there, and you're going to probably even face some very mean-spirited criticism at times, which is kind of amazing to me. So part of the negative of trying to build a social media platform is the meanness of people that you encounter, because they're empowered by the relative anonymity.
Yeah.
You might see their name on a screen, but you don't really know who they are, and you can't get at them. So I've had some people say some incredible things to me, but I just kind of, just let that roll right off.
Straight past, yeah. Okay, well, those are the 5 main comments you asked me to put down. I have one last question for you.
Okay.
what do you think is the single most effective form of social media for yourself?
Right now, it's Facebook. So I get the most engagement through that, and especially, like I said, through the Real Tennis Coaches. And I used to engage in other forums, but I found that I wasn't that the quality of the conversations wasn't as great, and I was finding myself sort of getting sucked up into conversations that didn't create a lot of benefit for people. So I've pulled back from other forums so that I can really concentrate and provide the most value to real tennis coaches. And the model there has always been quality over quantity. You can find some massive groups out there with 25,000 or 15 or 17,000 people, but they're not as active, and the quality of the conversations are not there. And I have a very strict rule about professionalism. So in the group, anyone who shows any disrespect to any other single member is going to be called onto the carpet, and will have an opportunity to apologize for any kind of disrespect or arrogant comment that they might make. So members of the group really appreciate that. And we've had a couple dozen, 2 or 3 or 5 dozen people have been summarily dismissed for the group because they lack the professionalism of being able to engage in healthy debate. So Real Tennis Coaches on Facebook is really my #1.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Bill.
All right, thank you. All right, so that's the end of that. And now I'm going to go off of live from Facebook. All right. I was probably a little more long-winded. I violated all the rules I made for you.
Of a minute, but it wasn't much over a minute though. I would say that was 10 minutes, was it?
I don't know. I mean, I'll see when it pops up on Real Tennis Coaches. So I wasn't able to get on
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Oh, we were going to talk about Gary Vaynerchuk, weren't we?
Yeah, and I wasn't sure whether that was as part of the quote story picture video. I didn't really.
Okay. Well, he's somebody you should know.
Oh, I'm aware of him. I'm not.
Okay.
I am aware of him, but I'm not totally au fait. Aware of who he is.
Okay. Now his language can be a problem. So it's not suitable for work, but he's very much a New Yorker. He's very strong-minded, opinionated, and uses coarse language at times. But I think he's really a great guy with a good heart, and it's amazing because he's a multimillionaire. He's approaching becoming a billionaire, and his VaynerMedia is pretty much the most vital source of social media marketing now.
Right.
And his self-stated goal is that he wants to buy a professional sports team. So which is gonna, so I think we'll do it. He keeps saying he wants to buy the New York Jets. I'm going to buy the New York Jets, and so the New York Jets aren't for sale, and by the time they are, they're going to be worth $1 billion. So he has a lot of work to do. But Gary Vaynerchuk is really a great source because he gives away so much great free information. I would strongly urge you to know who he is and tune into what he does a couple of times a week, because he trains people you just watch what he does on a daily basis, and it's really amazing. My only criticism of him is that he preaches family first, but then it looks like he's working, 60 to 80 hours a week.
Right. Right. Well, that's not
right. And so, yeah, it's a really interesting conundrum where he's like, oh yeah, I put my family first, and then you see him, doing his thing at midnight.
Mm.
Or not sleeping, not present, but talking to his family on the phone.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's not great on its own, is it?
Yeah. Well, so anyway, he's a fascinating guy, though. I think there's a lot that can be taken from him for sure.
Nice. Okay.
All right. So anyway, I think I'm going to stop the broadcast.